Hello and welcome to the commentary for my multiplayer level design project. The map itself is called Skyscraper. It is a 3-lane map based a lot on my research on Black Ops 2 and other first-person shooters, specifically the map Hijacked I looked at in detail. What we're going to do first is just go through the 3 lanes. So this is the upper lane. It's made for snipers and engineers. It has a medium amount of cover compared to the other 2 lanes, as well as having little sniper nests put in it that give the team a bit of a view on spawn, but not a particular view on the enemy team's approach. To do that, they have to come over here and go more towards the center, which is a lot riskier. There's also... I added a lot more cover to this map through testing. On this lane, that mainly involved putting cover on the back sides here. Oh, moved out there. On the back sides here, which were originally completely uncovered to allow for environmentals. However, what I didn't account for was the firing down these lanes. It also meant that everyone was just crowded over here. So I did some half cover here, as well as raising the size of the cover on this side, so that enemies weren't able to just spot you for anywhere, and you could duck away from the sniper's nest and get into cover. This lane is made to be very open. It's one long corridor to promote long-range classes fighting. It's not made for heavies or pyros just to run down. In an ideal world, if 2 snipers rush up, they'll end up on opposing sides here, having a little sniper battle. Whoever wins rushes to the sniper nest. And yeah, it can lead to a lot of long-distance fights. The second lane we have here is the middle section. That's made for your scouts, soldiers, demo men, anyone that's got a higher movement speed. Because of that, it's a shorter length, but it has the least amount of cover. I mean, you've got to get down there quick, as it's the only route that only really has half cover anywhere. During testing for this portion of the map, the main change was I added health kits. Originally, due to its short size, I didn't have any health and ammo, on the idea that the players could run back and go to the resupply. However, over testing, I found that that was too far of a distance and led to problems and players dying too much if they didn't have the help of medics, so I did some health kits here and ammo. And yeah, that brings us to the point. The point was specifically designed to be very open and clearly viewable from all of the different routes. This was to make it harder for people to camp the the control point, which I think worked well. As you can see here, bots are fighting over and it doesn't seem like one team has too much of a hard lock on it. Proceed to the lower level. This is more made for spies, heavies, and pyros, any of your short range or slow moving characters. Because of that, it has full cover here, so it's harder to see. You see the bots are in trouble shooting each other, and when they go up to the walls, it's pretty hard to see through. Then you get into the building, it's again large cover, and then these smaller pieces of cover here. Through this sort of dimly lit area, it'd be easy for a spy to go invisible, change into the other team, either come out through the center, or maybe just loiter around here. Either way, it's the best lane to go if you want to try and get sneaky backstabs in. The main change I made to this portion of the map was the adding of doors. I found that without the doors in testing, players were getting shot as soon as they came behind the cover, and it was making it harder for people to take spawn, as the idea is you could come up this way, they wouldn't get any sight of you until you're here, and then you're right on top of spawn to flank the team that has it. Without the doors, it made it easier for the other teams to be aware. And again, without the doors here, you can see almost right into your enemy team spawn from either side. This made it a lot harder this made it possible to spawn camp, because that doors were added to give them a bit more of a buffer. One of the main changes I made to this map after testing was the adding of signs pointing towards the control point. There you go. If we go back to the spawn, you have to see signs here that's like, oh, apologies for that. They'll lead towards the exits. Resupply sign. Signs that tells you this is the way to the control point. Signs to the battlements. I know battlements strictly is meant to be in TF2 where the battle is taking place. However, I have seen it on other maps and players being the assumption that battlements also takes you to higher ground in the sniper zone, so I figured it was an ideal to use there. Another thing I did that's a bit unorthodox is adding health packs and ammo packs to the spawn point. I just found that from here it was quite a large run to get right back to here for players to health up if they were going on the upper route, so I just added a couple of little health packs and ammo packs here. Especially if the enemy starts to camp here, they've taken your health packs and ammo, and you're in trouble getting out. Just having a little bit of extra health and ammo close by can make the difference in them spawn camping you. And yeah, some more to the control point signs there. Another change I made was that I intended for the urban theme of the map. It's inspired by a map called Rooftops in Gary's Mod, another Source game, specifically in the Trouble in Terrorist Town mode. I was planning to have it similar to that with very mute colours to it. A lot of greys, metallic colours, concrete, browns, that sort of thing. However, the more colourful nature of TF2 meant I saw it fit to add a lot more reds and blues to clearly denote which side belongs to which team. Also makes it easier for the players to navigate. Well, as it makes it easier for the players to navigate. And yeah, I'm trying to think of any other big changes I made to the map during testing. Another was splitting the lanes apart. Originally I had the lanes a lot closer together so that players could jump between. However, with how close they were, it was possible for most classes to jump between, not just those with higher mobility. And so I decided it was better to move them further apart to make those classes' unique features more viable. Another thing I did with playtesting was adding more blocks on top of here. These are barriers to stop players just rocket jumping up. Engineers were able to get on top of here originally when these lanes were closer together, getting up to here, putting up turrets, teleporters, so they were able to exploit the map in ways that were not intended. Another change that came through testing was the size of doors. Originally doors were twice as high. This led to an issue where a team could be at the point but be able to see the doors from each of their enemies spawn to know exactly where they were coming towards. So it made it easier to hold the point and to spawn camp the enemy team. So because of that, the size of doors were lowered. Another problem I had was as you can see here, I've added X's onto the map. So originally there was no elements to stop the enemy team getting into the spawn, and a problem became when a player would retreat back to the resupply if they were followed by another player. When they opened the door to their spawn, the enemy player could just walk in after them. They weren't able to get out, but they could then move into the spawn and then start spawn camping people, which was obviously not ideal. And yeah, I think that just about covers most of the main changes that have been made through the iteration and playtesting of the map, and the ideas of what inspired it. So thank you for listening.